came talking about the Quran. Are you crazy? Like, you're speaking about the Quran to a dude who knows about the Quran, bro. You gotta like, Assalamu alaikum, and we are back with another reaction video. If you are new to this channel, make sure that you are subscribed to this YouTube channel because we are speaking about a lot of interesting things. They always serve as an iman booster and it's always giving a Muslim perspective on things without sacrificing our Islamic values, of course. Now, over the weekend, or Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday. Brother Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawa and the whole crew from London, they came through and it was a really awesome thing. They had a debate in York College, okay, against a very famous evangelist David Wood, right? Who you may or may not know. He is a, Christian, I guess, like a dude who supports what his beliefs are. But the problem with supporting his beliefs are, and there's nothing wrong with you supporting your beliefs, right? The problem is he mocks Islam. Mocking Muslims is a very relevant thing to do, and making fun of people is a very relevant thing to do. But one thing that you and I have to remember is that in Islam, we are not allowed to mock anyone. And even in their own scriptures, you're not allowed to mock anyone. So this man has gained his fame for the past 20 years by mocking Islam. And in fact, a little story for you guys to know, Brother Mohammed Hijab, one of the first videos that he was introduced to as a child, which caused him to even, pursue Islamic studies and the philosophy and how to debate people, was videos like such, and where people are trying to bash Islam. And Brother Mohammed Hijab actually became inspired by videos like this, and he became like, how do I do counterclaims of these arguments and how do I have rebuttals from this? So may Allah reward him and guide us all to the straight path. But the point I'm trying to make right now is that this dude, David Wood, has been bashing Islam for the past 20 years. I've said it correctly, ladies and gentlemen, 20 years. Now, it's okay, right? People are behind their camera, it's all safe, there's no smoke, right? You're behind your camera, you can say whatever you want. He's dressing up as a woman, trying to mock the message of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and you're doing things that are offensive. But you'll never find a Muslim doing things that are offensive to Jesus. Why? Because Jesus is our messenger. We're not going to be doing things like that. So this reaction video is not a reaction to that 3-hour-long debate. This reaction video is more along the lines of those who have watched this video and who criticized Brother Mohammed Hijab for how he acted. Oh, he was acting arrogant. I'm sorry, but right now, it's like verbal warfare, okay? This dude has been attacking Islam for the past 20 years, and this dude, Brother Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawa, have been on this guy's case, trying to meet him, trying to reason with him, making videos to him, and trying to educate him. No matter what, this dude always came back at them. Hard, heavy, all that sort of stuff. So now, face to face, for years of trying to communicate, for years of mockery, for years of lack of humility on the end of David Wood's camp, enough is enough. The ring is here, the gloves are on, it's time to go. And a person can't hide behind edits anymore. A person can't hide behind a little computer screen and sound like an expert and talk about Islam. Okay, you come through to New York City, to your college, and we'll talk about it. So these dudes do exactly that. They fly out over here, and mashallah, it's awesome, right? I know these dudes from before, super cool guys, and they're not arrogant. They're not like that, right? But the problem is this, guys, everyone has limits. Every single person has limits. And you and I have limits as well, too. Look, I'm a dude, I'm a Muslim, I try my best. I'm a sinner just as much as anyone else is, and I'm trying my best to be, a better Muslim. But everyone has a breaking point. No matter how much I'm like, fear Allah, no matter how much I'm doing stuff like that, some one of y'all gonna cross me the wrong way, and I'm gonna have to remind you I'm still a dude from the Bronx. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you can't forget these things. Everyone has a breaking point. The first point that I wanna make is that, from the debate perspective, it just seemed like, oh, David Wood is so respectful towards other people's faiths. Yeah, he's sharing his response, but he's so respectful of other people's faiths. I'm sorry, but if you really review his videos, he is not. That is just in person because he don't want no smoke. By smoke, I mean he don't want it. He don't want it with people. If he used his same mockery, his tones from his videos in real life, wallahi, there would have been literally, there would have been a mob he would have been mobbed on the stage. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the same way these neo-Nazis and these KKK members, they want to be all tough in their own circles, right? In their own white-hooded, white power sort of circles, right? And in their own behind camera and all that sort of stuff. But come in a community filled with minorities, come in a community of black people, come in a community of Jews, they wouldn't walk out alive. And would you say, oh, you know, the minorities, the black people, the Jews, they need to have more respect for those KKK members or those skinhead members? Hell no, you'd be like, yo, I'm about to beat them up too. Because if they use those same tones, the way David would, if he was using those same tones that he was using in his videos in real life, you would know what kind of this person is. But you're expecting Brother Mohammed Hijab. Come on, man. Come on. Why aren't you like being more respectful towards him? No disrespect. With all due respect, everyone deserves respect. I'm a believer of that. The Messenger Muhammad ﷺ taught us to treat people with respect. However, respect is something given and earned at the same time. If this dude approached Muslims, Brother Mohammed Hijab, in a way that was more respectful, where he wasn't trying to be arrogant, right? You see, here's the thing, a lot of times people forget that, people think that humbleness and all these sort of things are, you know, in your demeanor and how you carry yourself. But what if a person's condescending? What if a person's condescending? This dude is talking about a whole bunch of, you know, the Muslim, the Quran has a slender man, and the Quran is alive, and you know Allah prays to Himself, and Allah pray. What are you talking about, bro? You've been using the same nonsense arguments for so long, and now someone's exposing them. Where are you gonna run to? Where are you gonna run to? You can't Google things anymore, right? You're not behind the camera anymore where you could just pause the camera, just Google. Let me edit this out in Final Cut. No, you're in real life. This dude is coming and is defeated. That's what it is. Granted. And this is where you guys have to understand tones and cultures of people like that, right? I am married to someone who is from the UK. The way they speak and their tone and how they speak about things can come off as rude. I want to be clear with you. Can. To us. But if you're in the UK, that is the manner of speaking. You have to understand there's cultural differences as well. I, and my wife and I, used to get into fights and arguments because I used to say to my wife that you're being disrespectful, you're being rude to me, you're being rude to me. And she couldn't figure out, what do you mean by that? What do you mean I'm being rude to you? That's the thing. There are cultural differences that you and I don't realize, that when a person comes from a different country, the way they say things might appear rude to you, but it's really not. It's really not, right? And for all the other things that you guys are getting on it, oh, Brother Mohammed Hijab is like, you know, trying to like do this sort of stuff. Let me tell you something, guys. David Wood has been on Muslims mocking the messenger for so many years. It is about time he got shut up. My question to you is, how does he come back from this? Look, in debates, you know, we don't give anyone any belts. We never vote and say, who won over here, guys? But let me tell you something. It was obvious who won. When we are driving home and all that sort of stuff, we are feeling like champs, right? I don't even want to imagine that car ride home with David Wood and his camp and all that sort of stuff. What would they say? Well, I mean, what are they going to talk about? They got ripped to shreds. At the end of the day, right? We need to speak about things that we are experts in. David Wood, you are not an expert in the Quran. David Wood, you're not an expert in narrating a hadith. You're not an expert in the science of hadith. You're not, okay? You are not an expert in the Arabic language. You're not. That's okay, because there's other people who are. You would be an expert in the Bible. You'd be an expert in the philosophical stuff of the Bible. I'm with you, man. But stick to your strength. You came, and in this debate, you're going to see the post-analysis. This is a post-analysis, all right? You came talking about the Quran. Are you crazy? Like, you're speaking about the Quran to a dude who knows about the Quran, bro. You gotta like, oh, your camp, wallahi, you have some flipping fake people in your camp. If I was in your camp, that's what I'm gonna do. If I was in your camp, stop. You're trying to school Brother Mohammed Hijab on the linguistic words of Arabic in the Quran? Are you crazy? Why didn't your camp say, no, but you kept on going on because that was your only argument. So it wasn't that Brother Mohammed Hijab was being arrogant. It wasn't like that. He was just shutting you up. Like God. And he wasn't shutting you up. And this is the difference, right, guys? He wasn't shutting you up so that you could just make another video. He was shutting you up so you could stay shut down. This was supposed to be career ending. That was the point of this, career ending. So he doesn't have a leg to stand on. You gotta go back to that drawing board. Hey guys, how do we attack Islam now? You gotta figure out a new strategy to attack Muslims, because everything you said got exposed. You embarrassed yourself, man. You had to speak about the thing that you are an expert in, which is the Bible. Reference the Quran here and there, right? I mean, but you did the wrong thing by speaking about someone else's text when you're not an expert in it. You're just not. You're probably an expert in your own text. Speak about your own text. Speak about the Trinity, the divinity, and all that sort of stuff. Speak about that. Do your thing. Defend your religion. And then pull things from the Quran. I'm giving you a strategy. This is free. You should be paying me for this, David Wood. Speak about certain things and then, reference certain matters of things just so that, you could be on the same page. Even your book supports this sort of idea, blah, 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 right? But you're trying to teach me about my book? Have you lost your mind? What are you doing? And Brother Mohammed Hijab stuck with the Quran, and he did exactly that. He stuck with the Quran and he referenced the Bible. Why didn't you stick to the Bible and reference the Quran? You were losing it. You were losing it. It's a recipe for disaster, David Wood. You need to chill out, man. Like you got to be smarter about your attack. And next thing, David Wood, please. This is like humble advice. Don't think it's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. It's humble advice. Please, go take a public speaking class. Please, go take a public speaking class. Like, seriously. No disrespect. I'm being dead serious over here. Like, this is sincere advice. Please take a public speaking class and learn to develop more charisma when you speak. Because even if you said something of value, which you did, even if you had a good point, which unfortunately you didn't. By the way, the ones who questioned Brother Mohammed Hijab at the end when it was the Q&A section had better questions to ask Brother Mohammed Hijab than you did. And that's sad because you never adjusted your arguments for what was happening. You just kept these same arguments that you had written down. You weren't making assessments in real time. You had a script. You were reading a script. You didn't assess for the real time. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help you out, David Wood. Man, just speak with some more charisma because even if you made a good point, no one was listening to you. I mean that. No one was listening to you because it was boring to listen to. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful to you, but you were boring, David Wood. You were boring. And I mean that in a very respectful manner. Your points, anything you were making, even though they weren't good, you were boring. And I'm a really good listener. But bro, I zoned out a bunch of times when you spoke because you were boring. You need to learn how to change your tones. You need to take a public speaking class, man. That's what you got to do. This ain't YouTube. This is real life. But bro, you got to learn how to speak to a crowd because you were boring us. I'm serious. You were boring us. You need to do a better job with that, man. And this is just sincere advice. Take it. If you don't want to take it, that's cool too, man. No disrespect. I'm cool with that. Obviously, go back to the drawing board and come back with some real scholarly sort of arguments because you didn't have many. Learn how to be persuasive when you speak. When you speak with some more energy. You didn't have any energy. You were really bland and monotone, bro. You really need to go back to the drawing board. You need to learn how to speak in public and just do a better job with that. That's just my advice to you. I know that might be funny. Some of you might be cracking up right now, SQ. You're trying to listen. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, bro. If you're in this field, you got to be a better and you have to be an expert in your craft, and you're just not. And I'm not talking about just academically. You got to be an expert even in the field of speaking. Learn how to speak, bro. David Wood, I'm sorry. One more thing. I want you to go to Express. Listen to me. Go to Express or go to one of these tailored shops, right? I mean, maybe Men's Warehouse, and get a fitted suit, bro. I mean that in a humble way. When you come to a debate, not only is it important for your speech to be on point, but your outfit needs to be on point, bro. You look at your tie, bro. Your knot was not even a proper Windsor, bro. You gotta make sure that your tie's on point, that you're matching correctly, bro. Your outfit wasn't popping. And from the just sheer fact of things, Brother Mohammed Hijab looked better than you. That's a problem, bro. This is my advice to you. Please get a better suit. Make sure it's a little more fitted, right? Make sure it's more up to today's time and modern era about how to wear a suit. Maybe a little more slim fit and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Do something better for your physique. But bro, don't wear that old type of suit. And may Allah guide you or something. It's a debate, bro. You gotta come styling, And if you knew me, I would have hooked you up. I probably wouldn't have hooked you up at all, actually. I would not have probably hooked you up to saying that. I would have hooked Brother Mohammed Hijab up, but he didn't ask me for no advice either. That was my post-analysis review of the entire thing. You guys have to understand that this is deeper than what you think it is. These guys are on the front lines of defending Islam all the time through this sort of angle, right? They're in speakers' corners all the time. They deal with this. They're fed up with this dude. For 20 years, this dude's been bashing Islam for 20 years. You get in a debate with 20 minutes and you're like, yo, I'm about to go off on this dude. 60 million views, guys, on his YouTube channel. I have 4,000 subscribers. This dude has 60 million views. How did he earn them? By spreading corruption. How did he earn them? By spreading misconception about Islam. How did he earn them? By educating people false things about Islam. But one thing's for sure, if we're talking about winners or losers, there was only one winner, and it definitely wasn't David Wood. Jazakallah for watching, guys. Make sure that you have subscribed to this. Let me know your feedback below. What were your thoughts about the analysis? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Tell me how do you feel about the approach of Brother Mohammed Hijab. How could he have done better? It's nothing wrong with giving some nasiha. How could he have done better as well too? How could David Wood have done better? Also, I'm interested in knowing. Tell me below. How could David Wood done better? Jazakallah for listening, guys. I appreciate you. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. I love you all for the sake of Allah. Hit this with a thumbs up. Share this with people and all that sort of stuff. Love you all for the sake of Allah. I'm out.